Porsha Williams and newcomer Kelli did not come to play, and by the time the credits rolled, producers were panicking. Security had been called. And Bravo fans were left gasping like they just got slapped with a clutch. So let's get right into it, because this wasn't your typical reunion, honey. This wasn't fake shade and passive-aggressive jabs. This was war. And it popped off before Andy Cohen could even ask his first question. Now picture it, the glam, the gowns, the lighting just right. Everyone sitting pretty with that sisterhood energy they love to fake. But as soon as Andy opened the floor with a classic, how do you feel the season went? Chilly Kelli cut through that vibe like a hot knife through butter. She looked Porsha dead in the eye and said, "Girl, you spent most of the season faking happiness while planning that divorce." Time froze. And y'all, it was the silence for me. The way Porsha's face went from glam to game time in 2 seconds. She hit that classic Bravo smirk and clapped back without missing a beat. "You don't know a damn thing about my marriage or my life. So sip your champagne and stay in your lane before you get checked." But Kelli didn't flinch. She leaned right in and dropped a bomb, "Sweetheart. Your ex was in my DMs before y'all even filed. Don't try me." That was it. That one line sucked the air out the room, y'all. Kenya looked like she'd seen a ghost. Drew went stiff like a mannequin. Andy looked like he wanted to vanish into the floor. The vibe shifted. What aired on Bravo? Baby, that was just the surface. What happened behind the scenes during breaks, in whispered convos, and in off-camera meltdowns? That's the real story. And trust, we're getting into all of it. Let's rewind, because this drama had been brewing long before the reunion. Days before filming, Kelli posted a cryptic IG story that read, "He was in my inbox. Your turn, sis." Now, at the time, folks thought it was about some petty cast drama, maybe Drew or Sonia, but when she brought up Simon on that couch, everything clicked. The energy shifted fast, but what nobody expected was what came next. Because Porsha didn't just pop off, she came prepared. Sis reached into that glittery clutch and pulled out a whole folder. Yup, while Kelli was tossing Ms. Porsha brought receipts, legal receipts. She turned to Kelli and said, calm as ever, "You want to play this game? Let's talk about how you've been leaking confidential divorce filings to the blogs." The cameras zoomed in. The room went dead silent. And Andy's face. Chilly, that was a real reaction. According to Porsha, those documents were from her legal team. They showed screenshots of email trails and text messages tying Kelli to gossip blogs, the same ones that had been mysteriously dropping very specific info about Porsha's prenup, her property holdings, and even her bank accounts. Let me be clear, that info wasn't public. So how did it get out? And get this, those same blogs dropped the tea before Porsha even filed for divorce. The timestamps matched. Fans online were quick to connect the dots. One site even reposted the story with the caption, "So we weren't crazy after all." Porsha looked Kelli in the eye and said, "You tried to ruin my name for clicks, and I promise this isn't over." That wasn't shade. That was a warning. But oh, Kelli wasn't done. As soon as Andy tried to pivot to a lighter topic, Kelli pulled out her own phone. "Yup," she said, "Porsha had been getting a little too friendly with one of the Bravo bodyguards on that infamous Scabo Girls trip. The same trip that happened while things were still messy with Simon. And y'all, she had screenshots. Flirty. Texts, little you up. Messages, even a blurry pic of someone who looked suspiciously like Porsha in a hotel robe. Kelli said, you talk about betrayal. Look in the mirror." That's when Kenya audibly said, "This is getting good, and baby." The tension, thick. Drew tried to chime in, but you could tell she was shook. When Andy asked if she remembered anything unusual from that trip, she tried the whole "I don't recall" act. But Kelli turned and said, "Girl, you were right there when she called him fine." And Drew went silent. That silence, that wasn't innocence. That was regret. And here's the kicker. A former Bravo staffer anonymously confirmed that after the Cabo trip, one of the security guards suddenly stopped working Bravo events. No explanation. Just gone. So y'all do with that what you will. But wait, it gets wilder. 'Cause right after that messy showdown, Porsha ripped off her mic and stormed off stage. She reportedly told producers, "Y'all let that girl ambush me. This wasn't in the script." Andy, K-N-E-W, Chili. And if that wasn't enough, hours after the reunion aired, an audio leak surfaced. In the clip, Porsha can be heard yelling backstage, accusing Andy and production of setting her up and threatening to walk out of part 2 unless certain footage is cut. Now, Bravo hasn't confirmed it, but the voice, the tone, the rage, it sounded exactly like the scene we watched unfold. And baby fans went in. One fan tweeted, "This reunion was better than the entire season." Kelli came in like a sniper. Porsha wasn't ready. Another wrote, "If Kelli had dropped that iCloud footage, Porsha might have walked out and never come back. Because, yeah, Kelli hinted there's more." She got caught on a hot mic at the end of the shoot saying, "Porsha lucky I didn't bring the video receipts." Let me repeat that. Video receipts. Not texts, not stories. Actual footage. She said she's got recordings, backups, and even screen recordings sitting in her iCloud just waiting. And baby, she didn't say it like a joke. She said it like a promise. At that point, Bravo producers reportedly panicked. They pulled Kelli aside and told her to watch the legal line. Apparently, if any footage she has was recorded without consent, Bravo could be legally liable just for referencing it. So they cut the conversation short, but the fans heard it anyway. Okay, now we've got to ask, will Porsha even show up for part 2? Because the way she stormed off and the way Kelli is coming for blood, it's giving exit storyline energy. And listen, I love Porsha, but the way Kelli dismantled the room, fans are saying it might be time for a peach upgrade. Producers are already whispering about a full cast revaluation. Sources say social media reaction is playing a huge role. And with Kelli trending number 3 on X the night the episode aired, the message is clear, she delivered. Meanwhile, Porsha's team is allegedly in damage control. She's been quiet on socials. No shady tweets. No Instagram lives. Just silence. And in the world of reality TV, silence speaks volumes. So now the million-dollar